General, you have embraced the notion of allies spending 5% of GDP on security and defense, with 3.5 going towards direct military spending and 1.5 towards related things such as security-related infrastructure. Iceland has obviously not been included when there's talk of military spending, obviously because we have no military. But how do you see Iceland responding to the call for other investments, the 1.5% of GDP, and Prime Minister? Does Iceland have plans in this regards to increase spending according to these proposals that will surely be discussed at the summit in The Hague next month?
Yeah, what I'm clearly hearing from Iceland, and also in my meetings today, is the willingness to increase defense-related spending. So within the context you rightly described of Iceland's position, there is clearly that willingness to invest more in the defense-related spending. And as I said, Iceland plays a very important role when it comes to our collective deterrence and defense, because all the stuff Iceland is doing, I'm not going to repeat what I said in my introductory remarks, but it's all there. And I think as an alliance, we highly value Iceland's contribution. And when it comes to the High North, the Arctic, of course, Iceland is one of the 7 NATO allies in the High North, in the Arctic. The only other one is Russia. So 8 countries, 7 of them in NATO, and Iceland playing an increasingly important role also there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, we've had these discussions in the government. There's not going to be a structural shift as to how we spend our money. It makes more sense for us to continue to strengthen what we're already good at, which is defense-related investment and spending, being a good ally when it comes to providing facilities for other NATO countries. We do want to step up. There is willingness within the government to do that. We are looking at the 1.5%, as you mentioned, when it comes to that type of investment. But we have also been seeing funds going into direct defense-related spending, and that will be increasing. But our biggest feat is going to be on the related spending and related investment. We have been running an air defense system. We're supporting air policing. Like Mark said, when it comes to the Arctic, this is a place where we have to step up. This is our area. We need to have skin in the game when it comes to the Arctic and have an opinion on that, not that just being run by others. So I see a lot of possibilities coming out of that as well, even though we're in a situation where this is also run a bit from a threat position. There's still possibilities for buildup in Iceland as well. So this is something we're looking into. We will have concrete points going into the Hague summit, and then also going forward in our spending reviews. Okay. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Anders Børingbo in Norwegian Broadcasting. You have been discussing the High North and the Arctics. So my question goes on Greenland. So Secretary General, what's your view on Donald Trump wishing to take over Greenland?
Well, I was visiting Norway, as you know, last Thursday on the invitation of the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister, Foreign Minister. We had a wonderful day, but also it was also very illustrative for me to understand better the whole situation in the Arctic. And what you see now is that these 7 countries, this is including the US and Canada, and of course Iceland and Norway and Finland and Sweden and Denmark through Greenland, they're all working more and more collectively together, and they have asked collectively for NATO to get gradually more involved. For example, when it comes to getting ourselves organized, when it comes to, for example, intelligence gathering, etc. So I think that is very positive. And what President Trump has said about the Arctic, also in general, the issue of Russia and China becoming more and more involved there, building up their defense systems, the fact that the sea lanes are opening up now, the point he made about, a very practical point he made about icebreakers. We do not have enough icebreaker capacity within NATO potentially, so we have to look into that. So for NATO, we're getting more involved. The 7 countries really working together, having asked NATO to be also a sort of platform of gathering and coming together, etc. So I think that's very positive.
Can I just comment real quickly on this? I mean, aside from the obvious point, which you have to respect international law, And international law also, you have to abide by it in the High North as well. And this is a conversation that us that live in the North need to tell people about. There are rules and laws in the High North as well. I do think with that discussion or with this focus that came from the US president, there is a focus now on security in the High North and security in the Arctic. And it has made us all think, because nations in the Arctic have wanted to keep this as a low tension area. And, you know, in a perfect world, it would continue to be a low tension area. But we need to do more on security. We are aware of that. That has to do with Denmark. It has to do with Greenland directly. It has to do with Iceland. It has to do with Canada. And that's why we're increasingly having more dialogue, conversations about what more we can do. So we're also stepping up as a result. And so there is a silver lining in all this discussion, even though the message from Iceland is obviously clear: respect international law. The future of Greenland is with Greenlanders. This has put more focus on security in the North, and that is a positive thing as well.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.